The Mesoamerican civilizations now have access to a new cavalry unit when converting stables. That makes these converted stables useful instead of just being able to do nothing. Say hello to the Xolotl Warrior. While all three Mesoamerican civilizations technically can train the unit, their minds lack the redemption tech necessary to convert the stables in the first place, so outside of scenarios or mega random type maps where they start with a stable, they won't be training it, thus limiting the unit to the Aztecs and the Incas. The unit doesn't actually show up in the tech tree anywhere, and it doesn't actually show up in the hotkey menu either. It just uses the same hotkey as the scout line. This unit is basically just a copy and paste of a knight, with all of the stats being identical. However, it's pretty much the worst knight in the game, because the Mesoamerican civilizations, despite being able to train the unit at the stable, do not have access to either the bloodlines or husbandry techs. The Mesocivs also lack the cavalry armor upgrades of the blacksmith, limiting them only to the attack upgrades. The Xolotl Warrior quickly falls off in power versus the knights of every other civilization once those knights start getting their upgrades. The Xolotl's tooltip says that it is good versus infantry and siege, however, it does not have any specific attack bonuses versus these units. Just like the knight, it only has 10 melee attack, and it actually is slower than Elite Eagle Warriors once those infantry units get the Squire's upgrade. Combined with the fact that the Eagles are both cheaper and have an attack bonus to do more damage versus siege, I really don't see the Xolotl Warrior being used versus siege, except perhaps as a surprise attack against a mangonel when popping out of a converted stable. Perhaps there's a very niche use versus the swordsman line, but considering the Mesoamerican civilizations already have Jaguar warriors, plumed archers, and slingers, I really don't see much of a use case for the Xolotl Warrior. It just seems like they're outclassed by the other Mesoamerican units in pretty much all cases. That basically limits them to just a fun meme unit when you've converted a stable, which is probably what they should be. The Mesoamerican civilizations are already among the strongest in the game, and they really don't need a buff from another strong unit. And for those interested in the campaigns, in Montezuma 5, The Boiling Lake, there is a side mission where you could capture Spanish horses and convert them into Tarkans.
We have trained a horse rider.
Instead of Tarkans, you now get Xolotl Warriors.
We have trained a horse rider.
You might notice that they do actually have the armor upgrades, but this is just due to scenario triggers causing them to have the upgrades and be stronger, putting them more on par with the Tarkans from the original game. So that about wraps it up. The Mesoamerican civilizations now have the new Xolotl Warrior from the stable, which is fun even though it really isn't that strong. Thank you all very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.